For the longest time, animals have risen to dominate the earth. Some of these lasted for many years, others just a few, but in the end, they almost all went extinct due to disease, meteorite strikes, lack of food, habitat loss, or more competition. So let me tell you the strangest extinct species to ever exist. We start our journey in the beginning of the Cambrian period. Swimming through the shallow seas is a predatory Anomalocaris, or something like that. With eyes sitting on stalks protruding from its head, this 1.25 feet long arthropod could use its excellent vision to see its prey, trilobites. Using its hooked appendages to grasp the prey and expose its soft stomach, it would shove its prey into its small mouth. The beast was on the top of the food chain at the time. It spent its day scanning the waters for prey, a certainly weird animal of the past. Next, we'll go to the Silurian period. At this point, terrestrial plants have really taken off, and bugs ruled the land. Yet in the creek bottoms lived a super predator, the Jaekelopterus. Yeah, this supersized arthropod laid still on creek bottoms, waiting for its prey. Once a fish swam by, it would ambush it, grasping it with its claws and shredding it to bits. Luckily, it would die quite quickly and could not see its size. At over 8.2 feet long, it was the largest known arthropod to ever live. Now that it is the Carboniferous period, we will come to our last animal of the waters, the Megarachne. This spider-looking creature was originally actually thought to be a spider. With a leg span of 19 inches, it would have been the largest known spider to ever live. Luckily, though, to all the people with arachnophobia, after over 15 years, it was found out to be, in fact, a sea-dwelling arthropod. Though relieving, it is kind of a bummer. This little guy would swim along the swamp and river floor, sweeping the sediment with his legs, looking for invertebrates to eat. Even though it's not a giant spider, it's pretty cool. Now finally, we leave the waters and go on to the shores of the equator in the Carboniferous period. Crawling along the forest floor is a beast, the Arthropleura. This 8.5-foot-long millipede looks like a monster, but in reality it was a gentle giant. Usually depicted as a killer, the Arthropleura usually scoured along the forest floor, snacking around on plants and maybe in an occasional invertebrate to support the energy needed for a 110-pound bug. Now we will jump into a more recent time, the late Paleocene. The age of dinosaurs is long ago, and new animals have arisen, one of which is the taxon Mesonachid. The Mesonachid's were a taxon of hoofed predators. They range in size from today's foxes all the way to a horse. The largest, Andrewsarchus, had a skull that measured over a meter long. Their jaws were very powerful and full of molars used to shear meat and crush bones. It is thought that the smaller members hunted along the coastline, while the largest scavenged for food. One species of Mesonachid, the Mongolestes, lived all the way until the Oligocene, which was during the time of the near-horned beast. The next animal on our list. This behemoth was the largest land mammal to ever live, being nearly 15.7 feet tall at the shoulder. Though it doesn't look like it, this species is actually related to the rhino. And similar to a rhino, it was a herbivore and would graze on leaves of trees. And now, we will talk about the last two animals in this video. The first is the Argentavis. This bird was the size of a small airplane, and when diving, may have been able to reach speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. Though this bird was massive, it only weighed around 155 pounds. This is the largest known flying bird to ever exist. Its diet was a carnivorous one, although more than likely, it was just a scavenger. At this time, over in Eurasia, lived another, less terrifying beast, the Irish elk. Though it wasn't actually an elk, it was just a very large deer. Its diet, behavior, and looks are similar to today's deer, except the fact its antlers are 12 feet wide. This was used similar to today's deer to impress females. Sadly though, to all those hunters out there, this deer went extinct around 10,000 years ago, due to lack of food and hunting. In the end, all of these animals had one thing in common. They all died out. And that is why we should care for what we have now, so people in the future can have the same experience as us.